Welcome to the WHHI Daily News. I'm Robyn Zimmerman. Let's begin with today's news headlines. It's now more than just Beaufort County Sheriff P.J. Tanner who wants to see purchasing records from Beaufort County's administrators. A state grand jury has now issued a subpoena for records related to possible purchasing, wrongdoing by employees, procurement of items by former Administrator Eric Greenway, and the contract for equipment at Port Royal Park. An internal audit found that there was laxity that resulted in flagrant violations of purchasing rules. Now, Solicitor Duffy Stone had asked for the grand jury nearly a year ago, and Attorney General Alan Wilson has now taken over the case. The county continues to maintain there is no evidence of criminal activity. And USC women's basketball star Ashlyn Watkins was arrested on charges of first-degree assault and battery and kidnapping over the holiday weekend. Watkins is accused of grabbing the victim's face, pulling her arms, and pushing her aside at a student housing center, then picking her up and taking her down a hallway, which is considered kidnapping. Now, the victim eventually escaped and pulled a fire alarm just hours after the arrest. Watkins was released on bond and has a court date in late October. Well, the latest Beaufort County school test scores are showing improvement. Nearly 54% of the students in grades 3 through 8 either meet or exceed the state standards in English language arts, the best performance yet for the district. Now, the numbers aren't nearly as encouraging for math, with just 43% of students meeting or exceeding the state standards. That mirrors the national trend of lower math scores since the COVID shutdowns. Now, maybe the most positive news from the report is that district students are still ahead of their counterparts statewide. Well, here is some news about violent crime in Beaufort County. While the county's murder rate is lower than the state and national averages, the Island Packet reports that 2023 was the deadliest in at least 3 decades, and this year's on pace to beat that. The Packet says the county law enforcement agencies reported 20 homicides last year, up from only 9 in 2022, and this year has had already 14 murders in the first 8 months. And finally, the Surge Restaurant Group has announced that the farm-to-table restaurant Nectar will move, but hasn't exactly said where, and that its next-door neighbor, Marley's Shrimp Shack, will be renovated. Now, One Hop Mama's Barbecue will be moving into the current Nectar site this fall, and the old Graco hardware site on Highway 278 will become the local Legend Brewing Company. Now, maybe the biggest news is the closing of Enchiladas on Pope Avenue after over 36 years. For more information on these stories and many more, please check out the media sources listed on your screen. And remember to follow us on Facebook and YouTube, and check out our website at WHHI-TV.com. If you have a news tip, a story idea, or even a cool weather photo, you can just email it to us at news@WHHI-TV.com. And now let's check in with Maria with the weather, which is sponsored by Lowcountry Crawl Spaces. Maria, give us an update.
Thanks, Robyn. Yep, so taking a look ahead, it does look like as we get through this week, we are going to be seeing more thunderstorms in the afternoons and going into the evenings, but with that is going to come cooler temperatures. So taking a look at Wednesday, it's going to be cloudy and windy with scattered showers throughout the day and going into the evening. Hilton is going to have a high 85, a low of 71, and then Bluffton and Beaufort have a high 86 and a low of 69. The sunrise for Wednesday is going to be at 7 o'clock and sunset's going to be at 7:43. Taking a look at the tides, high tides going to be at 10:44 a.m. and low tides going to be at 6 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the week, a little bit into the weekend. Thursday is going to be cloudy with thunderstorms throughout the day and going into the evening. Highs are going to be in the mid-80s, lows in the low 70s. Then come Friday, again, it's going to be cloudy with showers and thunderstorms starting in the afternoon and continuing on into the evening. Highs will be in the mid-80s, lows in low 70s. And then come Saturday, it's going to be cloudy with a thunderstorm in the afternoon and then another one later in the evening. Highs are going to get into the low 80s, lows in the low 70s. That's it for your Lowcountry Crawl Spaces weather. Let's head it back to the desk.
And coming up after the break, we'll get an update from the Chief Housing Officer for the town of Hilton Head. Stay tuned.